whoever this thing was whistled again, to which the dog started barking and going absolutely crazy. At this point, I decided that I definitely didn't want to stay there, so I yanked on the dog's leash and we both bolted out of the woods and straight back home. When we got back, I told my grandparents what had happened. They both seemed spooked, and my grandmother immediately asked if I whistled back. I told her that I didn't, and she seemed relieved, but told me that I didn't hear anything and to just ignore it. I asked why, and she wouldn't tell me, and would instead just tell me that I didn't hear anything. I decided not to press it any further, and I just went to bed, terrified and wondering what she seemed to be so freaked out about. Now, the next morning, she told me that instead of walking Rocky through the woods, I could just take him on laps around the house, and so that's what I started doing. Every night, I would take Rocky for around 50 laps around the house before going back inside. On Friday, the third to last day that I would stay there, at night I was taking the dog for laps as usual, until I heard that same creepy whistle behind the attached garage this time, which was only around 10 yards from the house. This time, I immediately took the dog back inside and locked the doors. The rest of the night, I put my earbuds in and I ignored any more whistling like my grandmother told me to. To this day, I really still don't know what the whistling in the woods was all about. Some of my friends said that it was a skinwalker, but that's a Navajo thing, and there's almost no Navajo in West Virginia. My girlfriend, who stayed back in New York City, asked her Muslim parents, who are from Yemen, and they said that whistling at night is a sign that a jinn is nearby. I don't know about any of that, and I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it had my grandparents legitimately scared. I've heard of weird stuff happening in Appalachia, but this really is the first time that I've ever had a first-hand experience with it. So, that's why I'm here. Do any of you guys have any idea as to what this could have been? So I've lived in a number of houses, and just last night, I saw it for the second time, and I have no idea what it is. Around 4 or 5 years ago, I lived in a house built in the 1920s to 1930s, and there was one night that I was sleeping in the basement that I woke up. I've always had difficulty sleeping at night, and consistently woke up between 1 and 4 in the morning. It was an issue that I had from like ages 8 to 16. In any case, I woke up and there was this black mist in the corner of my room. Weirdly too, I wasn't scared, but it just felt like it was there. It was thick enough that I couldn't see through it, but after a moment I shined a flashlight on it with my phone, then turned the light off and it was gone. Fast forward to now, and I just got back home from a 12-day trip. My family moved, so our current home was constructed in the past 10 years. I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm 20 now, so it's been years since I've done that, and looked to my left, and there was a black mist right beside my bed, probably around 4 to 5 feet in height. Again, I wasn't scared, but I just turned back over and said, "I'm safe," and something else that I can't really recall right now, but then I just fell back to sleep. This experience has been interesting for me too, and I wonder what the apparition could be, if it's an apparition at all. My response was unnormal as well, right? I mean, I've been a bit stressed lately, but I also feel revitalized since going to see some family on vacation. In any case, if you've got any ideas as to what this was, then please do share, and if you can provide any help with this, then I would love to hear from you. When we were kids, my brother and I slept in the same room in a bunk bed. I was always a heavy guy, so I'd sleep on the bottom and he slept up top. We both remember this night to this day, which obviously could just be because we've talked about it so many times over the years and have tricked our brains into treating it as fact, but, still. Anyway, we're both asleep, and at the foot of our bed is a window. There's a streetlight across the road, so there was literally always some light coming through the curtains. We always sleep with our heads towards the other way, so that window would be at our feet. I'm not entirely sure what woke me up, but when I did, I just had that overwhelming feeling of somebody watching me. I wake up and open my eyes, and at the foot of my bed is a literal shadow person. And I mean, you could very clearly see the personage's outline with the lit up curtain behind him. Like, absolutely pitch black against a white lit up cloth curtain.